So our chart, so this one's a yellow chart. If you can't find any of those charts, I can always email them to you. I have electronic versions. I don't know if this link is live, but if you were looking at the live version of this, might not work. Anyway, I have electronic versions of all of them. So, in this chapter, we had a couple of formulas. One of it was the sum of the interior angles formula, and that is 180 times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides of the shape. But it also means it's also the number of angles. The number of sides and angles are the same thing. So if I want to know the sum of the interior angles, what all the angles add up to, we use that formula. Now the sum of the exterior angles should be easy. It's actually not a formula. It's just going to equal what always?
360.
360, thank you. So this will always equal 360 regardless of the number of sides. I need to grab my whole note sheet here and see if I wanted to write anything else about that. All right, yeah. So the next the question here asks us about a regular 18 gon. When they use the word regular means it's all equal sides and angles. So that means all the sides 18 sides. We want to know the measure of one interior and one exterior angle for this shape. So for an 18 gon. So n is obviously 18. Any thoughts? I think there's one that's easier to do right away. Yeah.
Exterior, would that just be 360 divided by 18?
Yeah, I think working with the exterior angles is smarter because of the fact that I know exterior angles always add up to 360. It has nothing to do with the number of sides. So we would just do 360 divided by 18 to find out the number of sides. Or the measure of one. Sorry, we know the number of sides. So one exterior angle would be 20 degrees. So we found that already. If I know one exterior angle, does anyone know how do we find one interior angle? There's a very easy way to do that. What do I know about the interior and exterior angles together? Yeah. Yeah, these two together equal 180. So the interior angle versus the exterior angle together, they form a straight line. So if I know the exterior angle, the interior angle should be easy to find. It'd just be 120 or 180 minus 20. So it'd be 160 degrees. Now you could also, if you like that didn't occur to you or you didn't realize you could do that, you could use this formula 180 times n minus 2. You could set it equal to 18n. This is another way to find that, or no, sorry, I'm not thinking right there. So if we put 18 in there, sorry, and then we just divided it by 18, I guess would be the way to do that one. Sorry, I was thinking of trying to find the number of sides. Okay. Any questions there? So that's our interior versus exterior angles. Now, the rest of this is working out with our rhombus and mid-segment. Now, I'm not going through a lot of different examples with this. There's a lot you can kind of go back and find, and obviously your homework has a bunch of examples with these. So kind of just being able to apply some of these rules depending on the type of shape it is. But specifically a rhombus is one I thought would be a good one. This actually is a question from when we took our test on, like I think actually both of these, or maybe one of them was from a review. There was a question identical to this on a test we had. And in a rhombus, they wanted us to find the measures of angles A, B, and C, and they give us just one angle. Any thoughts on how we could find any of those? Yeah, what do you think?
A equals 30.
Yeah, we have these alternate interior angles, so because the lines are parallel, A would have to be 38. Okay. Anyone have an idea about B or C? Yeah.
Wouldn't B have to be 90 degrees?
B is going to be 90 because a rhombus is one of those where the middle angle is always going to be a right angle. Those diagonals are always perpendicular. And then C, yep.
180 minus 38.
Not just 38 and 90. You'd have to take them all away. Yeah, so we know that this forms a little triangle here. Hi. So we would have to do like 180 minus 38 minus 90, or you could just do 90 minus 38, and you'd find out that C would have to be 52 degrees. Okay. There's also like the fact that you could use that these angles are always bisected. So it's possible that you could use that fact to help you as well. But so things like, questions like that is more what our questions will look like on the test in terms of some of these shapes, where you're going to be solving, like not necessarily will you have to tell me that's a rhombus, but you'd have to like solve questions about it being a rhombus. So again, taking those rules from the yellow sheet. The next one is another formula. This is our mid-segment formula. And the mid-segment equals 1/2 of the two bases added together. So if they tell me that PM is 2x, it's the center one here, QR is 3x, and they tell me TS is 10. Now PM is our mid-segment. This is the mid-segment, or I would probably need to tell you that, but that's the mid-segment of that shape. So that's our answer, so that's gonna be 2x. And then we're doing 1/2 plus 3x. So this becomes a little algebra problem. I would probably start by getting rid of the 1/2 first by multiplying each side by 2. So this would be 4x equals 10 plus 3x. And so we move that 3x over and find out x is 10. And so the idea with the mid-segment is that mid-segment is like half of the two added together, so it's like the halfway point. It should be the middle number, so 10, 20, 30. So PM would be 20, if you had to find that. And the layout of the exam will be similar to what you guys have been used to, where on my tests, it'll say like x equals, and I want you to find x, so it's gonna be really clear what you're solving for. There will be some multiple choice on our test as well, so just know that. So that kind of gives you some, if you're kind of stuck and you need to make a good guess, that's okay to do. Any questions about chapter 8 at all? All right, so again, a bunch of you guys are a little bit behind on homework in terms of like being caught up with chapter 7 already. So we're adding another section today, so we should be up to number 16, I believe. It's through chapter 8. So for tomorrow, we're going through number 16. We should have had through number 10 done already. So hopefully you already did that part of it, but otherwise you have a little bit more to do than if you weren't done. Okay? Questions at all? All right, I'm gonna give you guys time to work. Again, if you guys haven't yet gotten a note card,